Elizabeth's feet hurt. 14 hours in an operating room will do that. 2 surgeries back to back, both critical, both successful. Her shoulders ached from holding retractors. Her mind still buzzed with the rhythm of heart monitors and the weight of life and death decisions. She pushed through the lobby doors of her apartment building, already thinking about a hot shower and whatever leftovers were in the fridge. That's when she saw them. 3 men, expensive suits, wrong energy. They weren't residents, weren't delivery guys. They stood too still, watched too carefully. Elizabeth's hand tightened on her bag strap. Her exhausted brain snapped to attention. The tall one stepped forward first. "Dr. Adebayo." She stopped, didn't answer. "We have a message for your husband." Elizabeth's jaw tightened. She knew this might happen eventually. Marrying Osman meant marrying his world. But knowing something intellectually and facing 3 strange men in your lobby at 9 p.m. are very different things. "I don't deliver messages," she said, calm, professional. The same voice she used to tell families their loved one didn't make it. "You want Osman, call his office." The shorter one laughed. Ugly sound. "Listen to her! Thinks she's in charge!" "Tell Osman the park syndicate remembers," the tall one said. He moved closer, too close. "Tell him we're coming for everything he has." Elizabeth calculated distances. The elevator was 12 feet away. Security desk was empty. Marcus must be on rounds. Her phone was in her bag, but reaching for it would take 3 seconds she probably didn't have. "You've got 5 seconds to step back," she said quietly. "Or what?" The third man grabbed her arm. Big mistake. Elizabeth's grandmother raised her in Lagos before she moved to the States for medical school. Taught her 3 things: pray daily, work hard, and never let anyone put their hands on you without permission. She remembered all 3. Her hand went to her waist. The leather belt slid free in one smooth motion. Before the man could process what was happening, the metal buckle cracked across his knuckles. He yelped. "Let go!" The short one rushed her. Elizabeth sidestepped. Years of dance classes made her faster than people expected, and whipped the belt around his wrist. She twisted. Hard. He stumbled into the marble pillar, face first. The tall one pulled a knife. "Really?" Elizabeth's voice stayed level, even as her heart hammered. "In a building with cameras everywhere?" He lunged anyway. She fainted left. He bought it. She spun right, the belt wrapping around his knife hand. One sharp yank and the blade clattered across the floor. Her knee came up, connected with his stomach. He folded. The whole thing took maybe 20 seconds. Elizabeth stood there, chest heaving, belt still in her hand. 3 grown men groaning on imported Italian marble. Her white coat had a few drops of blood on it, not hers. The security door burst open. Marcus stood frozen, radio halfway to his mouth. "Hey, Marcus," Elizabeth said, voice remarkably steady. "These gentlemen were blocking the elevator. You might want to call someone." Marcus just stared. The elevator dinged. Osman stepped out. 6'2" of controlled danger, wrapped in a custom suit. The phoenix tattoo peeked above his collar, all reds and golds against dark skin. His eyes swept the scene, took in the 3 men, shifted to Elizabeth, widened. Nobody moved. Then Osman smiled. Not the cold smile his enemies knew. The real one, the one that made his eyes crinkle. "Baby," he said slowly, "did you just take down 3 park syndicate enforcers with your belt?" Elizabeth threaded the leather back through her waistband. "They grabbed me first." Ravi appeared behind Osman, saw the scene, and started laughing. Deep belly laughs that echoed off the high ceilings. He pulled out his phone. "Boss, the security footage. You need to see this, frame by frame. It's poetry." Osman crossed to Elizabeth in 3 long strides. His hands cupped her face, turning it gently, checking for cuts, bruises, anything. "Are you hurt?" "I'm fine." "Elizabeth." "Osman, I'm fine. They're not." He kissed her forehead, long and gentle, then the warmth vanished. He turned to the tall one, struggling to stand. Osman crouched down. When he spoke, his voice was barely above a whisper. Somehow, that made it scarier. "You touched my wife." The man's face went pale. "Here's what happens next," Osman continued, still quiet. "You're going to limp back to Park. You're going to tell him exactly what happened here. And you're going to make sure he understands that if anyone, and I mean anyone, comes within 10 feet of Elizabeth again, I will personally dismantle his entire operation, piece by piece. Are we clear?" The man nodded frantically. Osman stood, brushed off his pants like he'd just stepped in something unpleasant. Get them out. Marcus finally unfroze, stammering, into his radio. Robbie was still grinning. Belt Warrior, that's your nickname now, Doc. Absolutely not, Elizabeth said. Too late, it's happening. I'm making t-shirts. Osmond wrapped an arm around her waist as they walked to the elevator. The doors closed. Only then did Elizabeth's hands start shaking. Adrenaline crash. Delayed reaction. Osmond noticed immediately. Pulled her close. You're incredible, he murmured against her hair. Absolutely terrifying, but incredible. I just wanted to come home and eat leftover pasta. We're ordering takeout. Good call. The elevator climbed. Elizabeth leaned into him, feeling the steady beat of his heart. Outside that elevator, Osmond was a crime lord. Feared, dangerous, untouchable. Inside, he was just the man who checked her face for injuries and ordered her favorite food without asking. Before we find out how the underworld reacts to a cardiac surgeon taking down 3 armed men with just a belt, hit that like button if you're already hooked. Subscribe because this story gets wild. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens when the syndicate realizes they grabbed the wrong woman. Now let's rewind 6 hours to see how Elizabeth's day actually started. That morning started normal. Sunlight poured through the penthouse windows. Elizabeth stood at the kitchen island, reviewing patient files on her tablet. Osmond sat across from her with espresso and the financial section. His reading glasses made him look softer, almost professorial. Mrs. Kim's valve replacement is at 9, Elizabeth said, scrolling through pre-op notes. High risk, but doable. You'll be perfect. He didn't look up from the paper. Confidence or flattery? Facts, she smiled. Dinner tonight? That place with the terrible wine list? The one with the view you love? He stood, came around the island, kissed her temple. His hand lingered at her waist. Be safe today. I do surgery. You run a criminal empire. Who needs the safety lecture? His mouth quirked. Fair point. That version of the day felt like it happened to someone else now. The penthouse was different at night, quieter. Elizabeth stood under scalding shower water, watching pink-tinged water circle the drain. Not her blood. She wasn't hurt. Just bruised knuckles from the belt buckle making contact. When she came out, Osmond was on the phone. Rapid Mandarin. Someone on the other end sounded terrified. He ended the call when he saw her. Robbie's handling cleanup. Park gets our message by midnight. Elizabeth toweled her hair, started braiding it. What message? That you're completely off limits, permanently. He poured wine, 2 glasses. The footage is already spreading through certain channels. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing. Spreading? You took down 3 trained fighters with a belt, Elizabeth. People are impressed, and very, very nervous. She took the wine, sank into the leather sofa. I don't want to be famous for hurting people. You're famous for saving lives. This just adds context. His thumb traced circles on her knee. How do you actually feel? Elizabeth considered it, really sat with it. I feel like I should feel guilty, she said slowly. Shaken, maybe, but I don't. They threatened you, grabbed me, I responded. That's it. Most people would call what you did excessive. Most people aren't married to you. Most people aren't you. The moment stretched, comfortable. 2 people who'd chosen each other knowing exactly what that meant. Osmond's phone buzzed again. He checked it, frowned. Park wants to meet tomorrow. Neutral ground. You going? With Robbie and enough security to start a small war. He set the phone down. He'll apologize, publicly, or things get complicated for him. Will an apology be enough? For now. His jaw tightened. But I'm hiring more security for you. That's not negotiable. Osmond, 3 men got close enough to touch you. That's my failure. She grabbed his hand. It's not a failure. It's life. Your life. Our life. I'm still hiring them. She saw the fear under his calm, the what-ifs running through his head on loop. Fine, but I pick the team. I interview them. And they stay invisible unless absolutely necessary, he exhaled. Deal. Her phone exploded the next morning. Literally hundreds of texts. Her sister in Lagos sending laughing emojis and demanding the full story. Hospital group chat in complete chaos. By the time Elizabeth arrived for her shift, the entire nursing staff applauded. Dr. Adebayo? Nurse Chen was grinning. The legend herself, Elizabeth groaned. Please don't. Too late, you're trending. She escaped to her office. Dr. Sato knocked within 5 minutes. 60-something, usually unimpressed by everything. He was actually smiling. Saw the footage. Excellent technique. Your grandmother taught you well. You know about my grandmother? I know everything about my surgeons. He sat without asking. Are you safe, Elizabeth? The genuine concern caught her off guard. Yes. Good. You're my best transplant surgeon. Can't afford to lose you. He stood. Also, there were reporters in the lobby. Security removed them. They'll be back. Great. Fame's messy. Handle it carefully. Mrs. Kim's surgery went perfectly. 6 hours, no complications. Elizabeth spent 2 more hours in post-op, monitoring vitals, adjusting medication, making sure everything held. This was her real world. Sterile fields, precise cuts, lives saved through skill and years of training. But when she left the hospital that evening, 2 bodyguards flanked her, professional, quiet, former military by the look of them. They didn't speak, just maintained position. Osman worked fast. Ravi called while she was in the car. Hey, Doc, boss wanted you to know Park's meeting went well, really well. They're sending an apology gift. I don't want their gifts. Too late. It's a custom Hermes belt. Boss laughed for 10 minutes straight. Elizabeth couldn't help it. She laughed too. That's actually hilarious. Right? Syndicate's got jokes. His voice shifted. But seriously, you scared people. The good kind of scared. Nobody's touching you now. Your legend status. She hung up, stared out the tinted window at Luma City blurring past. Legend status. Belt warrior. Osman's wife. Dr. Adebayo. How many versions of herself could she carry? The car pulled into the private garage. Bodyguards checked the perimeter first. Elizabeth waited, patient, letting them work. Inside, Osman was actually cooking. Garlic and herbs filled the air. You're home, he said without turning. Surgery went perfect. She kissed his shoulder blade right over the phoenix wing. How is Park? Satisfying. He understands boundaries now. They ate in easy silence. Outside, the city glittered. Dangerous and beautiful, and somehow theirs. Elizabeth's phone buzzed. Unknown number, she almost ignored it. Then something made her check. The message was simple. This isn't over. She showed Osman. His face went stone cold. When? He asked quietly. Just now. He was already dialing, barking orders. 3 different languages. When he finished, he turned to her. Pack a bag. You're staying somewhere safe until we handle this. No. Elizabeth, I have patience. A life, a surgery scheduled. She stood firm. I'm not hiding. Then I'm tripling security. Fine, but I'm not running. His forehead pressed against hers. You're going to age me 10 years. You'll look distinguished. I'll look gray. Never. She kissed him, soft, then fierce. Outside, threats gathered. Inside, they held onto each other. The rooftop was freezing at 5 a.m. Elizabeth hadn't known this training facility existed until yesterday. Ravi brought her up through a service elevator that required 3 different keycards. The space stretched wide and empty, downtown Luma City still dark below them. Chen Lin was already there, compact, muscular, scars mapping her knuckles like a roadmap of past fights. Former Special Forces, Ravi said. She didn't waste time on introductions. Show me what you did. Elizabeth demonstrated. Belt whip, wrist twist, the strike behind the ear that dropped the 3rd guy. Chen Lin circled her. You think like a surgeon. Precision over power. Precision worked. Against surprised idiots, yeah. Against someone trained. She moved fast, grabbed Elizabeth's wrist, hard. What now? Elizabeth twisted. The grip held. See? Chen Lin released her. You're predictable. We fixed that today. The next hour hurt. Elizabeth's muscles screamed. Sweat soaked through her workout gear. Chen Lin showed zero mercy, drilling defensive holds, escape techniques, how to target vulnerabilities when someone bigger grabbed you. Ravi watched from the corner, doing his own drills, occasionally calling out encouragement between his sets. Remember, Chen Lin said, blocking Elizabeth's strike easily, you're not here to win fights. You're here to create space and run. Your value is in the operating room, not combat. Understood, Elizabeth reset. But if running isn't an option, then you make them regret getting close. By the time the sun crested the skyline, Elizabeth could barely lift her arms. Osmond appeared with water and towels. His hand settled on her lower back. Enough for today. Chen-Lin packed her gear. Tomorrow. Same time. You learn fast, Doctor. Don't waste it. In the car, Elizabeth slumped against Osmond's shoulder. His fingers moved through her hair, gentle despite the calluses. I hate this, he said quietly. The training? That you need it. His voice was rough. You should be safe, not learning how to fight my enemies. Elizabeth sat up, met his eyes. Your enemies became mine when I said yes to you. We both knew that. Knowing and living with it are different. Then live with it. She didn't blink. I'm not fragile. I wasn't before the lobby. I'm definitely not now. Stop treating me like glass. His jaw worked, then he nodded once. Sharp. You're right. I know. But I'm still adding more security. You already tripled it. I'm quadrupling. She laughed despite the exhaustion. Impossible man. Thorough man. That afternoon, Elizabeth had a consult. Maya Chen, 14. Congenital heart defect. The scans showed a valve malformation so complex it made Elizabeth's chest tight just looking at it. Can you fix it? Maya's mother asked. Her hands shook. Elizabeth studied the girl, scared but trying to hide it. That kind of bravery deserved honesty. Yes, but it's complicated. 8 to 10 hours in surgery. Recovery will be hard. When? Next week. I'll need my best team. Elizabeth touched Maya's hand. You're going to be okay. I promise. After they left, Dr. Sato appeared. Again. He had a talent for showing up at interesting moments. High-risk case. It's what I discern. It's what you do best, he paused. The board received a large anonymous donation yesterday. $500,000 for the cardiac wing. Any idea where it came from? Elizabeth kept her face neutral. None. His eyes glinted. Whoever it was has good timing. We can finally upgrade imaging equipment. After he left, Elizabeth texted Osmond. Subtle. His reply came fast. No idea what you mean. $500,000. Someone believes in your work. Osmond. Elizabeth. She smiled at her phone. Infuriating, generous, impossible man. Ravi called that evening. Elizabeth was chopping vegetables in the penthouse kitchen. She put him on speaker. We've got a problem. Her hand stilled on the knife. What kind? Parks. Second in command is making noise. Says the apology wasn't his call. Says they're not done. Does Osmond know? Telling him now. But Elizabeth, this guy's serious. Ex-military. Dangerous. He's been asking questions about you. Your schedule. Your routines. Her stomach dropped. What kind of questions? The kind that means he's planning something. Robbie's voice was grim. Boss is going to want you locked down. I have Maya's surgery next week. I know. We'll work around it. Just be careful. No more solo anything. She hung up as Osmond came through the door. One look at his face told her he'd already heard. His phone was pressed to his ear, voice low and lethal, giving orders in languages she didn't speak. When he finished, he crossed to her. Hands framed her face. You're staying somewhere safe until we handle this. No. Elizabeth, I have patience. Maya needs me. I'm not hiding. Then security doubles again. Fine, but I'm not running. His forehead pressed to hers. You're going to give me a heart attack. Ironic. I'd be the one to save you. Not funny. Little bit funny. He pulled her close, arms tight around her waist. Outside, threats circled. Inside, they held on. 2 days passed. Tense. Quiet. Too quiet. Elizabeth finished a routine valve repair. Nothing complicated. In and out in 4 hours. She scrubbed out, checked on the patient, headed for her office. The hospital felt different. She couldn't place why. Her phone buzzed. Chen-Lin, where are you? My office. Why? Stay there. Lock the door. Elizabeth's heart kicked up. She turned toward her office, saw 4 men in tactical gear emerging from the stairwell at the end of the hall. Not suits this time. Real gear, real weapons. The lead one had a scar bisecting his eyebrow. Parks, second in command. She'd seen his photo in the briefing Ravi made her study. He smiled. Dr. Adebayo, we need to talk. Elizabeth's hand went to her phone. He held up a signal. Jammer. Your security is 3 floors down, escorting a decoy to the parking garage. Clever, right? He stepped closer. Here's what happens next. You call Osman, tell him to meet us at the old harbor, alone, or you come with us instead. Elizabeth calculated. The stairwell was blocked. Her office was 20 feet away. Security wouldn't realize the problem for at least 2 minutes. 2 minutes was a lifetime. The old harbor is park territory, she said slowly. Stalling. Osman won't walk into that. Then I guess you're coming with us. 2 men moved to flank her. Elizabeth's training kicked in before thought. She stepped inside the first man's reach, elbow to solar plexus, used his momentum, threw him off balance. The second grabbed her arm. She twisted with it instead of against it, dropped her weight. He stumbled, but there were 4 of them. The leader pulled a taser. Smart. They wanted her conscious. Enough! His voice was hard. We're not here to hurt you, just leverage. I'm not leverage, Elizabeth's chest heaved. I'm a person, and you miscalculated. How's that? You assumed I'd be alone. Chen-Lin stepped out from behind a supply cart, weapon drawn. 2 more security personnel appeared from maintenance doors. The tactical team froze. Gentlemen, Chen-Lin said pleasantly, you're trespassing. Dr. Adebayo has surgery prep. Leave before this gets messy. The scarred man's jaw clenched. This isn't over. Actually, Osman's voice cut through the tension like a blade. He appeared from the opposite stairwell with Ravi and 6 more security. It is. Osman moved like death in expensive shoes. He stepped between Elizabeth and the tactical team. Didn't touch her, didn't need to. His presence alone shifted the air pressure in the hallway. You came to her workplace. His voice was quiet. That made it worse. Where she saves lives. Where children come to get healed. The scarred man tried to hold his ground. Park doesn't want war. Then Park should control his dogs. Osman's smile was terrifying. Here's what happens. You walk out. You tell Park that if Elizabeth's name crosses his lips again, if he even thinks about her, I dismantle everything he built. Slowly, piece by piece, until there's nothing left but a memory. You can't. Test me, please. Osman took 1 step forward. Just 1. The man stepped back. I'm begging you to test me. The tactical team retreated. Chen-Lin and security followed them down, making sure they actually left the building. Ravi stayed, giving them space but staying alert. Osman finally turned to Elizabeth. The dangerous mask cracked. His hands shook when they touched her face. Are you hurt? No, they didn't get close. I should have had people on every floor, every stairwell, every... Elizabeth grabbed his wrists, hard. Stop, I handled it. With help. Exactly like we planned. You shouldn't have to handle anything. The frustration in his voice was raw, bleeding. You should be focused on Maya, on surgery, not watching for my mistakes. Our mistakes. Stop carrying this alone. Ravi cleared his throat. Doc, you've got Maya's pre-op in 20 minutes. And boss, we need to move on Park. Tonight. This was too close. Osman nodded. His eyes stayed locked on Elizabeth. After Maya's surgery, safe house. No arguments. This time she didn't fight. Okay. Just okay? Maya needs me focused. I can't operate worried about hospital ambushes. She kissed him quickly. Handle Park. I'll handle the surgery. We meet after. He watched her walk toward the surgical wing. Didn't move until she disappeared around the corner. Ravi had never seen his boss scared before. Not like this. She'll be fine. Chen-Lin's the best. I know. Osman's voice was hollow. But what happens when I'm not fast enough? When my world catches her in a way we can't stop? Then we make sure it never gets the chance. 8 hours later, Elizabeth peeled off surgical gloves. Maya's heart valve was perfect. No complications. The girl would live a completely normal life now. Her hands were steady scrubbing out, but her mind was spinning. Security had locked down the entire surgical floor during the procedure. Chen-Lin personally stood outside the OR. The hospital felt like a military installation. Dr. Sato waited outside the scrub room. Excellent work. Maya's parents are crying. Good. Elizabeth dried her hands. I need a few days off. Family thing. His eyebrow lifted. Does this involve your husband's business? It involves keeping people safe. Take the time. You've earned it. He paused. Elizabeth, I've been here 40 years. Seen complicated lives. Yours is more complicated than most. But you're handling it with grace. Don't lose that. The words stuck in her throat. She just nodded. The safe house was across town, top floor, minimal furniture, maximum security. Osmond arrived close to midnight, exhausted but whole. Elizabeth was waiting in comfortable clothes, surgical high finally fading. "It's done," he said. "Park's operation is scattered. The threat's over." How over? Permanent. She didn't ask for details. Some things lived better in shadows. They sat in silence. Osmond's head in her lap, her fingers tracing patterns through his hair. The city lights beyond the windows felt distant, like a different universe. "I need to tell you something," Osmond said quietly. "About tonight." Elizabeth waited. Park's second in command didn't leave Luma City after the hospital. He went to Lagos, to your sister's building. Her blood turned to ice. "Amara? She's safe. I had people watching her the second this started. They stopped him at her door." His grip tightened on her hand. "He's been dealt with." Elizabeth processed that. Her baby sister, 22 and in graduate school, innocent, dragged into this because Elizabeth fell in love with the wrong man, or the right man in a wrong world. "This is what my life does," Osmond continued. "It spreads, infects everyone you love, your sister, colleagues, patients. Eventually something slips through." "So what are you saying?" "Maybe you deserve better. Maybe you deserve safe." Elizabeth pulled her hand free, stood, crossed to the window. Her reflection stared back, ghosted over city lights. She thought about the girl from Lagos who came to America with nothing but scholarships and dreams, the surgeon who saved lives daily, the woman who took down 3 men because they threatened what was hers. "You don't get to decide what I deserve," she said. Her voice was steel. "I chose you, fully aware, eyes open. The danger doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is you thinking I'm naive enough not to have considered all of this." "That's not—" "Then what?" She turned, eyes blazing. "You think I can't handle your world? I've been handling it. Or you think I'm weak?" "Never." He was up, closing the distance. "You're the strongest person I know." "Then stop trying to protect me from my own choices." Her fingers found the phoenix on his shoulder, traced familiar lines. "I'm not going anywhere. We're stronger together. Or did you forget?" His hands found her waist, pulled her close. "I'm terrified of losing you." "Then stop pushing me away." They held each other while the city breathed below them. 3 months passed like fast forward. Maya recovered beautifully. Follow-ups showed perfect cardiac function. Elizabeth's viral fame faded into urban legend, replaced by newer scandals. The belt stayed, though, custom Moz, leather. Reinforced buckle, Osmond's gift. She wore it daily. Chenlin's training continued. 3 mornings weekly. Elizabeth got sharper, faster, more confident, not expecting more fights, just refusing to be caught unprepared again. The anonymous donations kept coming. New equipment, expanded cardiac wing, fellowships for students who couldn't afford medical school. Dr. Sato stopped asking questions, just nodded knowingly whenever another check arrived. Then Elizabeth proposed something that made Osmond choke on his coffee. A free clinic, East District, cardiac care for people without insurance. She slid plans across the breakfast table. "I found a building, former community center, good bones." "That's dangerous territory." "It's where people need help most." Osmond studied the architectural drawings. "This costs millions." "I know. Needs serious security." "I know that too." He looked at her. Something shifted in his expression. Pride, love, understanding. "When do we start construction?" The clinic opened on a bright October morning. Elizabeth stood in front of the renovated building, ribbon in hand, trying not to cry. Local press crowded the sidewalk. Community leaders gave speeches about access to healthcare and second chances. She barely heard them. Maya was there, healthy, glowing. She hugged Elizabeth so tight it hurt. "Thank you," Maya whispered, "for everything." That made the tears come. Elizabeth didn't mention Osmond funded the whole thing. Didn't talk about the belt or the viral video or any of it. Just spoke about cardiac care as a human right. About second chances. About community. Osmond watched from the back with Ravi, pride written all over his face. "She's going to change this whole district," Ravi said. "She already did." That night, back at the penthouse, Osmond handed her a box. Inside was another belt. Designer, understated. Small engraved plate on the buckle. For the woman who stands her ground, always. Elizabeth laughed, real and deep. You're never letting this go, are you? Never. He wrapped arms around her from behind, chin on her shoulder. You changed everything that night. Made me realize strength comes in forms I never considered. I just wanted to go home. After dismantling 3 trained fighters, he kissed her neck. You're extraordinary. Doctor, fighter, partner, mine. She turned in his arms, belt still in hand. Yours, always. The city spread below them, dangerous and beautiful and theirs. Elizabeth learned something important those months. Love isn't about choosing between worlds. It's about building bridges, finding balance, standing firm when threats come and soft when moments allow. She was a healer who learned to fight, a fighter who never stopped healing, a wife who refused to be defined by one thing. The phoenix on Osmond's shoulder caught lamplight as he held her, rising from ashes, reborn stronger together. Elizabeth smiled against his chest. Tomorrow meant early surgery. Next week meant clinic expansion. Next month meant Chen Lin teaching her new defensive techniques. Life kept moving, complicated, messy, perfect. Some nights you go home quietly. Other nights you remind the world exactly who you are. Elizabeth did both, and she'd do it again without hesitation. 3 months later, Elizabeth was reviewing charts when her phone buzzed. Message from an unknown number. Her stomach dropped. Not again. She opened it. A photo, the 3 men from the lobby, all working construction jobs, clean, employed. One had a baby in his arms. The message read, "Thank you for the second chance. We're trying to be better. Darius." Elizabeth stared at the screen, showed Osmond that night. You gave them jobs? They made a mistake. Doesn't mean they deserve to be discarded, he shrugged. Besides, you spared their lives. Seemed right to spare their futures, too. She kissed him. Long and slow. This was the man she chose. Crime lord with a conscience. Dangerous but decent. Feared but fair. I love you, she said. I know, he grinned. I'm very lovable. And humble. That too. The belt hung on a hook by the door now. Custom leather catching light. A reminder, a symbol. Elizabeth touched it sometimes, not because she needed it, because it represented something bigger. The night she stopped being just a surgeon. The night she became legend. The night she stood her ground and refused to back down. Ravi still called her Belt Warrior. She'd stopped fighting it. Even signed the clinic's opening plaque with it as a joke. The community loved it. Turned her into a symbol of standing up for yourself. Self-defense classes for young women popped up across the East District. All because one exhausted surgeon got grabbed by the wrong men on the wrong night. Dr. Sato called her into his office one afternoon. She expected another lecture about work-life balance. Instead, he smiled. The board wants to make you chief of a cell. Cardiothoracic surgery. Elizabeth blinked. I'm 29, and you're the best we have. Plus your clinic brought positive attention to the hospital. Good press, good karma, good medicine. He leaned back. What do you say? I need to think about it. Take your time. But Elizabeth? He stood, extended his hand. You've earned this, belt or no belt. She shook his hand, laughed despite herself. That night she told Osmond. He lifted her off the ground, spun her around, kissed her until she couldn't breathe. Chief of surgery, my wife, the chief. I haven't accepted yet. You will. You love the challenge. He was right. She would. Life settled into a new rhythm, surgery, clinic, training. Loving a man who lived in shadows while she lived in light. They made it work. Boundaries, communication, trust, and the understanding that some threats you face together. Elizabeth stood at the penthouse window one evening, belt around her waist, Osmond's arms around her shoulders. City lights stretched forever. No regrets? He asked quietly. None. You? Only that I didn't meet you sooner. She leaned back into him. Safe, strong, home. The woman who grabbed a belt and changed everything. The surgeon who became a symbol. The wife who refused to choose between worlds. Elizabeth Adebayo stood her ground, and she'd keep standing it every single day. Elizabeth's story proves something important. Strength isn't about looking for fights. It's about standing firm when they find you. If this kept you watching until the end, smash that subscribe button for more stories about ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Drop a comment and tell me, would you have fought back in that lobby or called for help? What would you have done differently?